Former NBA player notes why Caitlin Clark's marketability exceeds Aya Wilson, WNBA. Former NBA player Jim Jackson discussed why Caitlin Clark is the WNBA's greatest asset, regardless of whether she's the league's best player. Sept. 13, 2024. Indianapolis, Indiana, USA. Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark, 22, reacts to scoring a three-pointer Friday, September 13, 2024. During a game between the Indiana Fever and the Las Vegas Aces on Friday, September 13, 2024, at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. The Aces defeated the Fever, 78-74. Mandatory credit. Grace Smith/USA Today Network via Emain Images/Grace Smith/USA Today Network via Emain Images. Caitlin Clark needed less than one season of professional basketball to prove that her college success would translate into the pro game. However, it was clear before the 2024 WNBA regular season began that her massive fanbase and following would translate from the Iowa Hawkeyes to the Indiana Fever. This is a testament to Clark's ability to connect with her audience, which not only makes her beloved but also an extremely valuable asset to the sport of women's basketball. Former NBA player and current basketball analyst Jim Jackson detailed Clark's value and how it exceeds some of her WNBA peers during a December 19th episode of The Rich Eisen Show. It's certain people, I don't care if you're black, white, it doesn't matter, that have it. That draws something. And Caitlin is one of those, Jackson said. There's a reason why Steph Curry, who may not be the best player in the NBA, but he draws differently. He can be marketed differently than other players. And that's what I see with Caitlin Clark. Aya Wilson is the best player in the WNBA, but Caitlin is more marketable because people tend to resonate. And there's a race component to it. There always will be in some regards. But the player itself, the person, what she was able to do, how she resonated, how she drew eyes to the TV. The whole WNBA benefited from the viewership increase because of the excitement from Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, he continued. But from a pure marketing perspective, Caitlin Clark was it. The Caitlin Clark effect in collectibles is on full display. eBay recently released their 2024 in collecting report, and Caitlin Clark and the Legends trends are worth noting. Basketball fans and card collectors have been hearing about Caitlin Clark for several years now. Despite the attention she received throughout her college career and her rookie season in the WNBA, the interest in her cards and memorabilia only continues to grow. In September 2024, searches for her name were up almost 200% compared to January 2024. In addition, Golden, an eBay company, set a record for the highest recorded sale of a WNBA card when her signature gold vinyl 1-to-1 sold for $234.8K, as was previously covered in this article. While the hype of modern players drives interest in newly released wax, it's the retired legends that dominated the biggest sales on eBay. Of the 10 highest sales through October, 7 of them were retired legends like Michael Jordan, Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle, and Kobe Bryant. It seems the classics never go out of style. In one of my previous articles, I shared some data about the relative strength of the hobby. Well, the eBay report had another piece of anecdotal data that supports that conclusion. It showed in October, when the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, and WNBA were all in season, eBay searches for PSA 10 in the sports card category were up almost 30% compared to the previous year. The interest in cards does not appear to be slowing down anytime soon. Despite the current push towards the NFL playoffs and the hype surrounding the league's popularity, football cards have very little representation in the eBay report. In fact, the top 5 athlete searches in November were all about baseball and basketball. Michael Jordan, Victor Wembanyama, Caitlin Clark, Paul Skeens, and Shohei Ohtani topped the list. It wasn't until we zoom out to the full year that we see CJ Stroud crack the top 10 search list. Finally, I found it interesting and a bit reassuring that the top 2 card sales on eBay were from vastly different eras. The most expensive trading card sold globally on eBay was a 2015-16 Panini Immaculate Nikola Jokic Logomon Patch 1-to-1 RC Rookie Card PSA MVP, which sold for $205,000 in May of this year. It was followed by the top sold vintage card this year, 1909 to 11T206 white border, hashtag NN Ty Cobb. Portrait, Ty Cobb, Tobacco PSA 1.5, which sold for $190,000 earlier in December. These were followed by a 1986 to 87 Fleer Michael Jordan rookie number 57 PSA 10, gem mount at $145,655, and a 1952 top set break number 311 Mickey Mantle PSA 6 EXMT for $135,100.